Are you stuck and frustrated with a health and well-being issue? And also that may be your pet. Have you already sought help from your Western medical doctors, if you're a person, or your holistic vet as a pet, and you're still about the same? Are you open into venturing into the land of woo-woo land, where things are a little bit different, but oh, so highly effective? If so, today's show is for you. Our guest will be discussing his journey from the land of healthy skepticism into the land of full-blown woo-woo based in energetic traditions. He will share with you tips and strategies for getting you unstuck. When you're really, really, really stuck, he has some very cool tools to move you forward. So get ready, buckle up. I wouldn't want you, buckle up. We're gonna get ready to go for a journey in the quantum world and beyond. Buckle up. I wouldn't want you to go flying off to another dimension, or just maybe that is exactly what you need. Welcome to the People and Pets Show. Welcome to the People and Pets Show. You want to get your pen and pad ready and just jot down some notes because you're going to have a lot of questions for our guest. I'm so grateful and honored to have with us today, Rudy Hunter. Rudy, how are you today?
I'm great, Mark. Thanks for having me on. It's fun.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And thank you to everyone that's on the show live, watching the show live or on replay. There's so many things you could be doing with your time right now. And I'm so grateful and honored that you have chosen to spend some of it with us this morning or on the replay. You're going to get a lot of value from our conversation today. And make sure to, first of all, let us know where you're viewing the show from, be it live or on the replay, okay? And also, as we go through the conversation, let us know if you have any questions for Rudy about yourself, health and well-being issues, or your pets, okay? We're going to be doing both and just kind of go where spirit moves us. So, yeah, 1 second. All right. So I'd like to also be sure to hit the love and like button. Okay, if you're seeing it live, please give us all those bubbles, likes, and loves. If you're seeing this on YouTube on replay, please hit a like and hit the subscribe channel for the People and Pets Show. So my name is Mark Hernandez. I am the owner and founder of People and Pets Energetics. I'm a holistic practitioner that helps people and animals and your living spaces when you hit the wall with health and well-being issues. Basically, I have intuitive gifts and extensive training to identify and release non-beneficial energies that are locking into your place, your stuff. Okay, for people, the most common thing that gets them in the door is some type of physical pain. I've been in physical pain from time to time. We probably all have at some point in our lives. When we're in physical pain, it's hard to think about anything else. When that back hurts or whatever, that knee hurts. So often that's what gets people in the door. What I'll do is people give me information, be that maybe right shoulder pain. My first question always to them is, have you seen your medical doctors? Get everything checked out, get all your tests run. After you've done your due diligence and you still have that pain and they go, we don't know why, I'll read your energy field and identify and release what's locking into place. Sometimes the results show up immediately and other times over time. For your pets, those changes in behavior, peeing and pooing in the house, separation anxiety, and much more. If it's the pee and pooing thing, same thing. I'll first ask you, have you taken your pet to the vet? Get all the tests run, make sure there's no infection, anything veterinarily going on. Rule that out, and then we'll see what's going on with the energy field. So that's what I do in a nutshell. So I'm so happy to introduce today's guest, Rudy Hunter. Rudy Hunter has been doing energy work for over 30 years. He is known worldwide for his healing, his techniques, skills, and teachings. With a large and avid internet following, Rudy has become busy remote practice where he works on dogs in Australia, racehorses in Italy, and traumatized people and animals throughout North, South America, and Europe. He started his life as a professional dancer and magician, and until one day a really horrific back injury kind of curtailed his dancing career and prompted him to start first venturing into the land of body work, chiropractic, massage, acupuncture, all those great things, so that he could fix his own back and help himself. He became a Touch for Health instructor under the direct supervision of its founder, Dr. John Thie, doctor of chiropractic. He went on to train many lay people. I think that's really important. Rudy has always wanted his work to be for everyone. Lay people, massage therapists, acupuncturists, chiros, and body workers. Also, he's a lifelong animal lover, and living in the country, he had the opportunity to work on many animals. Okay, and also, as a side note, and if you're in the mood to see Rudy do some of his cool magic tricks, just hop onto your favorite search engine and enter his name, and you'll find them. He's in high demand for interviews and teaching groups, and is the developer of many energetic techniques, including the Phoenix technique for the head, neck, and face, Sacred 8 healing. When I used to teach in schools, I actually taught that to my students, how to do the Sacred 8, and those that were into it go, "Ooh, it works." And the amazing self-healing care technique called HEART, Hunter's Emotional Alignment Rescue Technique, for gently resetting your emotional upsets in under 3 minutes. That's fast. If you've ever been upset and you can kind of get back into center and balance in 3 minutes, woo! And most recently, he unrolled in the last about 3 years or so, Ash Work for All Species, Activated Spaces Healings. For a decade, he worked with clients in person until he discovered that he was actually more effective working with them at a distance, remotely. So his work is gentle, fast, focused, and highly compassionate. He always tells his clients, go try everything else first, and then if you're stuck, come back to me. The topic of our conversation today is breakthroughs, from woo-woo to woo-hoo, a conversation with Rudy Hunter. Rudy, welcome to the People and Pets Show.
Thanks, Mark. That is the best, most excited intro I think I've ever had. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. I'm really excited and honored to have you here. And and before we go to conversation, let me see the comments that are coming on. People are saying where they're calling from. So give me a minute to scroll down. And okay, let's see. Ooh. Okay, we have Cindy. She says hi. Okay, Ram says greetings. Okay, we have a lot of good mornings from Sue. Let me scroll up. Let's see if we can see if anyone identified. Kim I know she's from Wisconsin. She said, thanks, really interesting. Let's see. Cindy Aldridge has shared. Here we go. Elizabeth Christine from Philly. Thank you for being here. Okay, Sue from New Jersey. Okay, when I go to comment, I'm not sure. Tech glitch. Let's see. Okay, Wisconsin. No sound. Okay, I think. Please write in. One person said no sound. I think we're good. We can hear each other.
Yep.
Okay, Pat says she's buckled up and ready to go. Okay, good.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to our conversation. So Rudy, your journey has been amazing. You started out as a professional dancer, a magician. You had that painful back injury, and then found yourself venturing into woo land and to doing what you're doing today. What was kind of that turning point, as you were kind of, had that healthy skepticism mindset, but then kind of said, yeah, woo is part of the picture?
Well, I still consider myself more skeptical than most of the folks in my own profession.
Yeah.
I'm always quick to think, to grumble and go, oh, that's rubbish.
Yeah. Okay, good.
I sit at the back and I say it quietly now instead of at the front and yell it. But that skepticism really changed. There wasn't one moment. It changed over time. But my partner introduced me when I first moved to New York. He introduced me to what I quaintly call the tinfoil hat brigade. These
Mhm.
were way out there nutter butter people who could do astounding things and were very unusual people.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people was we found out she was 80, is either 84 or 86. I don't remember which one of the 80s. But to look at her, she looked maybe early 50s. It was an astonishing, and it wasn't from goo and makeup and hair.
Yeah.
There was something about her life force that was very unusual.
Hmm.
And she is, I've told this story before, but I saw her adjust a cow. Now, chiropractic vets adjust a cow or a horse normally by getting up on a hill bay
Hmm.
with wooden mallets. And I mean, it looks awful. They
Yeah.
whack the hell out of the animal and you go, oh my God. And then they're better because they know what they're doing. My friend Celia stood with us at a distance, draw a terrible picture of a cow on a scrap of paper,
Yeah.
put it on a piece of wood, took a tiny little hammer, maybe this big, and went, boop, and I watched the cow adjust. And I flipped out. That was one of the pivotal pieces for me because my background is magic,
Hmm.
trickery,
Yeah.
and I
Hmm.
made my living with a deck of cards at cocktail parties for donkey's years. So I saw this, and in my brain, I thought, I've got to know how she does that, and that can't possibly be what I
Yeah.
just saw. So those two ideas smushed together, um, and then I slowly became obsessed with being able to do work. I'm good in person. I'm good with bones and ligaments and
Yeah.
muscles because that's the stuff I've studied for forever. But to translate that at a distance through the meridian system, through the nervous system, it's a very underdeveloped area. And I
Hmm.
wanted to be, because I'm crazy about it, I wanted to be one of the people who developed stuff that not only worked, most important, but that was teachable as well.
Right.
So it was a slow slide into less skeptical.
Yeah. And as you said, and in the intro, I mentioned that your work is still firmly based in energetic traditions. I know a lot of things
Yeah.
you kind of update it to, like I think of Walking the Charts or other your works, where you've updated it so it goes faster. Just kind of,
Yeah, there's beautiful, in every mystical tradition, there's great stuff.
Yeah.
In Asian ancient work, there's beautiful stuff, but you have to devote half your life to the right breathing, the right posture, and we don't have that. I don't have that anymore. I don't have half a life to recommit to that. So there are ways, based on my current understanding and constant study of the nervous system and the meridian system in particular, there are ways to make those connections happen so that the brain gets it, the body gets it, and the results are available.
Yeah, I remember I lived in Taiwan for 2 years. I remember a local friend took me to a traditional Chinese medicine doctor in Mandarin, so he was my translator. But I remember, doing the pulse thing, and everyone says, "Oh, that I forgot how many years, but a long time to really master it."
Yeah.
Among other things. So
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. So looking back over the trajectory of your career over the last 30 years. What has remained constant about your practice for people and animals and spaces? And what two things have most changed?
I used to have a love-hate relationship with my own practice because
Yeah.
I had terrible boundaries.
Uh-huh.
Terrible.
Okay.
And a sick puppy. There was one puppy. It's not a sad story, so
Yeah.
I'm not here to tell everybody sad stories. There was a puppy down the road, 20 minutes away from my house, who everybody had worked on. He had a locked straight back leg. And he's a puppy, so it's
Yeah.
like, I'll be right over. And I did everything I knew at the time, and because I couldn't even make any headway, I couldn't, even if I can't fix something, I can normally make enough headway to know what to suggest for next. I couldn't make a dent with this puppy, and it tore me apart. I was a big, wet, blubbering mess for many years running my practice.
Yeah.
I remember this particular puppy. The good news is that a very skilled vet needed to surgically cut and reattach a tendon that had locked tight. There was nothing else that was going to work, which made me feel better after the fact. But I learned a lot from how messy I was. So because of the lack of boundaries, I open and close my practice a lot. I've always loved my practice and occasionally hated it because of my own craziness. So one of the things I do now, and my practice has stayed open, and now I'm paying for it. Now it's bustly busy, which is lovely. I do, every morning I do personal work for myself. That's the thing that has always stayed constant. And I realize in retrospect how critical that is, not just for getting through the day, getting over an upset. This, by the way, one of the reasons I create so many things for getting over an upset quickly is like I sit down and do my work, you know, do a little chanting, a little walking, but I make sure I do my work every day. So that's the constant. The thing that's changed the most, I really think, has been the internet, Facebook, Messenger, the technology. My remote work was always done by telephone.
Yeah.
And it still often is, because I'm an English audiophile. So I get more from hearing somebody than I do from seeing them.
Right.
But that being said, the fact that we can be on an interview in the morning, or I can interview or teach across the world, that's like staggering. And I think that change, even though we all have to learn the tech, has been so enormous. Part of my mission is always to, as you pointed out, to teach regular folks. Like, it's lovely to have your chiro and doctor and acupuncturist on board. They're great. But I also want to have folks have tools for 3 a.m, or husbands and wives, or lovers, or mothers and daughters, be able to work on each other so that they can get out of trouble. Yeah, and I think the tech really, really is amazing.
Oh yeah, no, the tech, like I said, it's so interesting. When I first started my practice, if I wanted to do something like what I'm doing today, the state of the art was Google Hangouts.
Yes.
And I remember, for me, again, I'm not a tech whiz. That was very complicated, but I'm so grateful that there are a number of platforms today that for non-tech experts make it easier and able to reach more people.
Just to make you feel better, Google themselves have given up on Hangouts. So you're in good company.
So I was ahead of the curve.
That's it.
All right. But and also what you said earlier about how it's the same with energetic self-care. I always tell all my clients, you know, it's so important. I said, something I need to do for myself, something everyone needs to do, whatever people have their practices to take care of themselves, like you said, not just to get through the day, but just kind of maintain their overall health and well-being. So important, critically important.
And if you work, all practitioners work in an emotionally charged environment.
Yes.
But some to a much greater degree. You work with puppies and goats and people and stuff. I'm even more brutal with my choice of favorite folks to work on. I work with the dead, the dying, the folks who are hurtling towards something awful, and the folks who have suffered the most horrific traumas you don't ever want to hear about.
Right.
Those are my perfect clients.
Yeah.
So I have to be able to find and bring to a session strength that is unavailable to them, and their story and their issues can't crush me. Otherwise, I'm useless.
Right.
So it's really critical.
Absolutely.
And you know, there's life and husbands and wives and deadlines and laundry. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great.
Yeah. Let me go to the chat box. See, I know a lot of more comments have rolled in. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna see. Let's see. Maybe see if we have any questions. Okay, Carol said the sound is fine. Okay, let's see. I'll just post a few comments. Robin says contentment is breakthrough.
Amen.
Okay. Okay, someone about the cow story. Holy cow, that's crazy.
Funny. I may steal that line.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's really good.
Okay, let's see. See if we have any questions.
And by the way, the group process we're probably going to end up doing on this call in a few minutes.
Yeah.
is based on that cow story.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's post from Sylvia. It says, oh, he's got such a big heart. I adore him. You can tell him. He says, puppy. All right. Thank you, Sylvia. Let's see. Okay. Just Mary, we're emphasizing the importance of having a morning energetic routine to kind of get you going and staying good. All right. Well, thank you. Let's see. So would you like to facilitate a group process now, either for
Love to.
people or animals or whatever you choose? It's great.
Love to. So I'm an I still haven't figured out the right way to say this. I'm an interspecies level playing field kind of guy. So this will work for your animals. It will also work for you. So a couple of things about your animals. They do not have to be in the same room with you, because literally we would spend our time actually herding cats, which would not be helpful. So they're already connected to your field anyway. We're going to work through your field for your animals. But here's the deal. Because it goes through you, it also affects you.
Yeah.
I want to do a spinal process that's based around the spinal nerves, which you don't have to know anything about. And we're going to energetically tweak a couple of very important places in the spinal nerves for reset. So here's what this will look like. If you have spinal pain or discomfort, you're likely to feel more ease. And I hope you don't have that. If you don't have spinal pain, you're still likely to feel more ease anyway. It will actually be easier to see in your animals the increased flexibility that happens as a result of doing this. And it's a very short process. Okay. It's not very sexy to watch. I'm going to close my eyes and pretend you're all not there. As long as you're not driving or operating heavy machinery, you can do this with me by closing your eyes. And I'm going to focus quickly on 3 distinct places in the spinal column. We're basically going to tweak them, and then we'll come back and see how we feel. And if you have animals, whether they have stuff going on in those nerves or not, you'll be able to see more flow, more fluidity. Cool. And here's the most important part. Well, 2 most important parts. You can't do it wrong, because I'm going to do the whole thing. And don't take my word for it. Be skeptical and go afterwards, do I feel smoother or not? Do I feel tighter? Is Rudy making that up? Or maybe there's something. And it's okay with me whether you feel a lot, a little, a medium. It's totally fine. I'm not in that kind of rush, but usually this is fairly quick. All right, so enough yak. Here's what I'd like you to do. Be safe and sound, so no driving, no operating heavy machinery. Close your eyes and go inside. Briefly bring to mind any place in you, and it doesn't just have to be your spine, where there's any tension or holding that's been nagging at you. And if you have animals who are going to participate in this, bring to mind the places in them that you have seen where there's some tension or holding. You don't have to be very precise. Just bring it to mind gently. I'll go silent for about 30 seconds, do the work, and then we'll come back and check. Here we go. And there we go. Just gently bring your attention back. Before you do anything else, don't go testing stuff. Have a gentle wiggle and see for yourself how things feel. There's either no change, some change, a small, medium, or large change. If you can see your animals from where they are, if they're not sleeping, just with your eyes, check their motion, and you might have to do that later. And check for yourself what the level of suppleness is. Is it more or the same? It won't be less because we've opened things up, but it'll either be the same or it'll be more. And if you're on the call with us, let us know in the comments.
Yeah. If you could write in, as Rudy suggest, yeah, write in your comments. Anyone want to share this process we just did? Let's see.
Oh, and there's a secret for you. This call will be on replay.
Yes.
If you time mark where we did this process,
Yep.
or any of the processes we end up doing, you can come back to this and use it as much as you want. I like to leave the world with these little energetic billboards so that you can come back. You can tell your neighbor, I saw this crazy guy on this crazy guy's show, and he did this thing, and like, Fido is better. I don't get it. I think he's a psychopath, but here's the link. That. Mark may not be fine with that. But
oh, no, I'm fine. I mean, you know, I'm put in all sorts of categories. I'm fine with it. At this stage of my life, I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you call us.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, let's see. We have some comments already coming in. Okay. Pam says, relax back. Ah.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. We have Sue. Let's see. Says, change in my lower back.
Nice.
Nice. All right. Let's see what else. Mary, not sure yet.
Great. Mary, just track and notice. You don't have to keep checking, but notice 20 minutes from now, and also notice a couple hours from now, and also check tomorrow morning, because stuff, you know, it unwinds at the rate it unwinds.
Yep, absolutely. Let's say, maybe it's Keisha. Yes, I definitely feel more relaxed.
Beautiful. Good.
Yeah, let's see if I have any more comments. All right, yeah, keep your comments coming in, or any questions. So, can I take a few questions about pets? There were a few that came in.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, let me scroll back down.
Number one, why does Rudy comb his hair like that? Oh, that's not
okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sue asked, one of my daughter's rescue cats has a shoulder issue, maybe arthritis. Anything you can share with her?
So the easiest thing to do, aside from getting good vet support, and there are actually new supplements, thank God, that help. And there are new supplements that are non-toxic and don't eat out your animal's liver. It's like, hallelujah.
Yeah.
But the simplest thing to do is to use this process a couple of times, see what happens in the next day or two.
Okay.
And that's not to the exclusion of anything else, but you may find, because of the places in the spine that were tweaked, that will open and rebalance.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sure.
Let's see. Okay, let's see. Scroll back up. Let's see. Okay. Okay, let's see if we have any. Okay, back to the back. Sylvia writes in, low back was bothering, much more open and supple now.
Terrific. Awesome, Sylvia.
Excellent. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. From Cindy. Wow, had neck and back tightness. I saw light go to each area and felt the word ease and relax. My cat straight passed out on my lap. Very relaxed cat there. Cool. All right, let's see. Okay, back to the back. Let's see, who's this? Okay, here we go. Back to Keisha. Says, it was instant. I was standing up doing laundry and my back was hurting when and then I felt a relaxation and warmth.
Beautiful. Good.
Excellent. All right. Okay, one more about a pet and then we'll continue. From Pam. What about my cat Tinker? He has some breathing issues.
Breathing issues. One of my personal favorite things. Buried deep in my history is a 10-year horrifying, life-threatening journey into very life-threatening asthma. So I know it well. So we're gonna do a short little process. This is even shorter than the other one. This is designed to just open the chest and the entire respiratory apparatus for people and for animals. So I'd like your attention to be on your cat, just somewhere in the chest. If you have, and you being other people, if other folks have breathing issues, I'd like you to put your attention under the bottoms of your feet.
Okay.
People will say, what do you mean? How do I do that? You just pretend and make it up.
Yeah.
That's most of what we do anyway. So here are your feet. Put your mind under your feet. All right. You put your attention there. This will probably take just 15 seconds or so. I'll be back to you in a minute. There we go. Okay, bring your attention back, and here's the important thing. Don't go hard testing your breath. That's counterproductive. Just breathe naturally, or is as natural for you as you can in the moment. Means just breathe as you are. And notice if there's more ease. There often is.
Yeah, I'll speak for myself. Yeah, I noticed it relaxed kind of like right here in my chest. Yeah.
I was down in Florida in the post-Hurricane Michael aftermath, which was horrible. And I worked on a lot of dogs that were surrendered. That's a quaint for people leaving their dogs. Don't get started.
Right.
So most of them were big dogs, strong dogs, and many of them, because of their exposure to the hurricane and a bunch of other things, had respiratory issues. And I needed to get work done on all these dogs before I left, and there was a lot of them. So I developed a technique which I've been using ever since because I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, sure.
Here's the real takeaway. I probably have 100 different things I could do that I know restore respiration that would have taken longer. So there was a tent set up for these dogs. I sat in the middle. I went quiet. All the dogs in the kennels around me in this tent went quiet. I saw the video of it. It's kind of spooky, fun. And I heard what I quaintly call the big barking dog in my head give me instructions about what to do on these dogs.
Yeah.
That's this process we just did. And I've been using it ever since. It's very efficient. So,
Cool.
but don't take my word for it. You know, I could be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So try it in your own experience.
Yeah, we have some more comments specifically about the breathing. Pat says, my doxy has epilepsy. I noticed a definite change in his breathing.
Great.
Cool.
Wow.
Let's see. Any more about the breathing? Yeah, Sue just said, thank you. I have asthma, so perhaps her breathing improved. Good.
So for those of you that have real breathing problems and your animals have real breathing problems, you still always have an EpiPen. Always, always, always.
Right.
You still always have your meds. You still always have your homeopathic rescue. You have everything you need. So important. I speak from very personal experience. And in addition, you time mark where that crazy breathing thing I did was on the recording. And, you know, you mark it so you can get back to it and have that expansion whenever you need it in addition.
Yeah, I love what you say because I'm very big on that. If it's a person, they have something, you know, that looks quote unquote health. Always, you know, my first question: have you been to your medical doctors? You know, do your due diligence. Do what you need to know. If it is some rapid infection, I know in the utopic world you wouldn't need an antibiotic, but if it saves your life, you can do the antibiotic cleanup later. You want to be here as long as you're meant to be here.
Couldn't agree more. The real. It took me many, many years to help folks hear this clearly. The honest to goodness truth, dogma aside, is all of these people on your healing team want you to be better.
Yeah.
So they've all got special skills, and sometimes you need this one, sometimes you need that one. We're all rooting for your stability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had another healer call me. The dog was, you know, saying blood in the ear. I said, definitely go to the vet. Turned out it had Lyme and other stuff. So, you know, again, you know, use your medical doctor, your vet, to always be your first line, and then, you know, add in other things as needed.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see. let's see. All right. Okay, one more animal issue. Sue, okay. The niece's puppy is here and he constantly barks.
Yes.
Hmm.
Barking puppies.
Yappy dogs.
Yeah. Well, it's not really a problem, but it will drive you it will drive you crazy.
Yeah.
There's an old adage that a tired dog is a good dog.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that works for husbands too. And that's really true. So movement, exercise, rolling on the floor with them, doing whatever, so that there's lots of engagement in the nervous system, because what happens after that is we engage, they're so excited, and then it's like giving a sugar sheet cake to a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Their mind, and then suddenly all they want to do is sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So even just chasing them and belly rubbing them until they're pooped will work.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Thank you. All right. Right. So let's I want to move on to the ASH work program, because that's something where people can train on some of your methods and systems and become practitioners in their own right, or just help their friends and family, whatever they choose.
Right.
Why did you create it, and what are some of the results that you're hearing about the ASH work from either your own work or some of your practitioners?
Sure. I created Ashwork because I wanted to build a rugged system of healing my way that eliminated all of the things in other healing systems that drove me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to make it as complete as humanly possible. So there are 2 levels.
Mm-hmm.
One is basic ASH work, and ASH is activated spaces healing. If you have a desire to do healing work for yourself, your family, your loved ones, your dog, your llama, in your own life, and for friends and family, basic is all you ever need. You don't ever need the fancy schmancy stuff that's extra fancy and advanced. I'll get to that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a home study course, so you can do it at the speed that you want to. And it's very user friendly, and you learn to do work that is not only effective, that's an important given, but it is stable over time. Mm-hmm. So folks who just take the basic course constantly email me and go, I can't be doing this right because it worked already. And I've helped this animal, and that sinus issue I had has stopped. And so there's a flurry of wonderful feedback over the years now, and we're constantly collecting it, just collecting what has worked for folks. One of the things that's missing in a lot of other healing systems is the ability to work on yourself. Mm-hmm. And granted, working on yourself is tricky because you have to be both client, practitioner, and 911 operator. But the work works whether you're working on yourself, a dog, a cat, a budgie, a gerbil, a giraffe, a dolphin. So that's the basic level. The advanced level is taught every other year. I don't even teach it every year. And it's really become, there are advanced skill sets for doing more refined work, for being able to scan people and situations and energetic systems and locate where the issues are. And there's a lot. I decided after I started teaching it that it was going to be the library where a lot of the collection of how to run a real practice with real people in the real world suffering real stuff was going to be. So Mark's been interviewed in there because he's one of my advanced Ashwork practitioners and a fabulous practitioner, but you know that already. He's awesome. Ashwork is just one of the things he does. He does lots of other stuff. He does his own work and other people's work too. And that level is for practitioners more so who want to work with other people or think they might want to work with other people, and there's no pressure. There's a test in there's a test in the advanced level, and the test is just to see if you've gotten all the materials. You don't have to be a genius, and I don't even put in trick questions to show you what a nice human being I am. Because the truth of the matter is, I want people to learn these skills who have an interest in healing, and I want them in more households because at 3 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
in addition to your vet and your doctor and your acupuncturist, but at 3 in the morning when nothing is open, or your brother-in-law who lives in Australia, you
Mm-hmm.
want to help him, and you feel powerless because you don't have a simple set of skills. That's the real payoff for me in putting Ashwork into the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Great.
Hmm.
And something I know is one of your big commitments of your practice, especially helping practitioners learn how to build a successful and thriving practice.
It makes me crazy when practitioners struggle.
Yeah, and many do. Many do. Life coaches, practitioners struggle to, make a sustainable living.
Yes.
What are some of your top tips or like top 2 or 3 recommendations that if people are, they've gotten that great training in modality X, but, often they don't get the training on how to build a practice. What are your top 2 or 3 tips?
Sure, and that is in Ashwork, by the way. That's one of the things that's missing from a lot of trainings. You've learned this better than sliced bread, whatever modality. And there's great modalities out there.
Oh,
There's neat stuff. I still take everything.
yeah, absolutely.
It's like, oh, new toys, yay! So my top tips are the way to build a practice. You need to have 2 things in place. One is people need to know you, like you, and trust you.
Yeah.
And that means more than you can't be a schmuck.
Right.
I mean, if you're a schmuck, good luck building a practice that lasts any length of time.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to engage with people for knowing, liking, and trusting. And then the second thing is the hardest for practitioners to do, and it's the fundamental requirement for building any business or any practice for sure. And it sounds trite, and that is just begin.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean is, don't sit at home practicing your new technique by yourself or just on your 4-year-old who is begging you to leave them alone because they've had enough session work for the rest of their natural life. What I mean is, start working with clients.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about paid clients necessarily, but start working now. There's this wonderful adage that a rising tide lifts all boats.
Mm-hmm.
And the best way for folks to begin a practice is to begin working with people, because that leads them into all the lessons they're going to need to learn anyway. And I got lots of lesson savers on my site for free that people can go, what am I doing wrong? But it also starts the process of getting clients and getting the ball rolling. It's overcoming that inertia or the embarrassment or the nervousness or whatever it is, or this thing I hear all the time from practitioners that I sweetly yell at them about is this fear of coming into the world.
Yeah.
And I'll do it here. I yell at them because they are in the world. And the reason, here's a nice callback. The reason I kept closing my practice was for exactly that reason. I suffer from this, who am I to come into the world to... And I eventually, with the help of some fairly traumatic experiences, got over that and realized if I didn't come into the world to teach this work and leave this work, who exactly else was going to do it? And the answer was no one.
Yeah.
So just beginning is very, very powerful.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The art of the start, just getting going. I've learned that too. Initially, you need a Facebook page or website, but it's more important to have conversations with people. And like you said, if starting out, have volunteer clients, or then move to paying.
Nobody can stop you. I play a game of where in the world is Mark Hernandez, because you're always out at events, meeting people and talking to people and talking about your work. It's a great example for folks to actually see that this is the process of getting your work into the world. It's beautiful.
Yeah. It's definitely a process, and go to a lot of things, and some things stick, others don't, but you keep moving forward.
That's right. And if there's margaritas or breakfast meals at them, it makes them that much better.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let me go back to the comments. Let's see if we have any other new questions. Let's see. Okay, one. Can we do one more pet thing real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I believe I'm Vali. I believe so. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. My dog has issues walking.
So that's like saying, I want to go to a snack. I need a snack. I'm going to Google every restaurant in the world.
Okay.
So yes, your dog has issues walking. There are so many different pathways that could be helpful, but we're still going to do a process.
Yeah.
I'm just actually, I'm trying to multitask, which I should never do.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just give me a second.
Sure.
All right. I just needed to go inside and check where we're going to work. We're going to work right inside the belly of the doggy, right in the psoas muscle, and all of those connections. Those are rich, neurologically strong connections to the brain, which runs walking, and the musculature that supports it. So I want you to, one of my favorite things to think about, aside from ducks and ice cream, are puppy bellies, because I just like puppy bellies. So I'm going to do a little process inside puppy's belly. Now, let's say you don't have a dog and you're watching the interview, or you don't have issues walking. Good. Whether you do or you don't, I'm going to ask you to put your attention inside the lowest part of your pelvis. Now, that's a weird place to visualize. So if you tighten up as if you were going to go to the bathroom and stop going to the bathroom, that's the area deep inside the bowl of the pelvis that I want you to put your attention in. And by the way, if you clenched, please unclench or you'll get very, very uncomfortable between now and the end of the interview. It's my only pelvic joke I've got.
Yeah.
So that's where your attention is. You're just going to let your attention hover in there. All right. And for dog mom, you're going to put your attention inside the dog's pelvis. All right. You'll probably hear a little crazy mumbling while I do this. Don't let that distract you. Eyes closed if you're safe. Here we go. Okay, bring your attention back. So the way you check yourself is you just check yourself. You scan through, you say, how do I feel? And then you get a little more specific. How do I feel emotionally, mentally? How's my body feel physically? How's my sense of balance? How's my sense of well-being? And for dog mom, you watch your dog and you watch for dogs rearrange their neurology really quickly. So watch for any kind of rearrangement. But the proof really is in any improvement walking. And this may or may not be enough. Sometimes it is, sometimes it ain't.
Yeah.
So you're going to do all those other things as well. Good supplementation, great food, pleasant, unstressful walking for sure. All of those good things.
Yeah. Well, great.
So as one of my favorite questions, Mark, how was it for you?
Oh, yeah. I've actually had some, not a dog, but I've had some lower back issues for a while.
Yep.
And they've been kind of flaring up last couple of days. It feels more relaxed down there.
Good.
Kind of like the sacrum and coccyx down there. Yeah. So it feels great.
Great.
Thank you. Yeah. So, before we close out, do you have any other final comments, any other final thoughts you'd like to share before, as far as anything you talked about, or?
Here's my suggestion.
Okay.
Because I have a platform for 30 seconds, so I might as well take it. If you are an animal lover, find somebody's work, doesn't have to be mine, somebody's work that will help you do more good as an animal lover. You may not be the person who's the massage therapist, horse massage therapist person. You might be a fundraiser for a shelter. You might just go learn some neat stuff and go use it at your local rescue shelter. There's an incredibly valuable thing. Find something that's more for you to do in the way that you like it, and go do it. That way you get to be an even crazier, bigger hearted, fabulous animal lover, which, as you know, I'm preaching to the choir, we need more of. So that's my advice.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much. And before we obviously go, please share with your audience what's the best way to contact you: website, social media, all that great stuff.
I have 3 main sites. Those are the easiest ways to get in the information loop. You sign up for a newsletter. RudyHunter.com. That's the easiest to remember. Then there's huntershealingcalls.com. And the last one is the ashworkerstrainинghub.com. And if all of that's too much, Google Rudy Hunter, see what pops up on YouTube, watch some of the crazy stuff. That will lead you to the site so you can get in the information loop.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, thank you so much, Rudy. We're going to go back one more time to the comments, as someone tells me to go there.
Awesome.
So Nancy Louise says, I personally do a ton of clearing and healing at the animal shelters almost every weekend.
Thank you, Nancy. Love it,
Yeah,
love it, love it.
Let's see.
So needed, as you know.
Let's see. Okay. Cindy says, this was super interesting. Thank you, Rudy, and thank you, Mark, for having Rudy as a guest. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You do. And Pat, again, appreciation. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you. Oh, Marianne is here. Thanks, Rudy and Mark. Another Ashwork practitioner.
Yay.
Okay, well, great. Well, again, thank you, Rudy, so much for being on the show today.
Always
And everyone out there, make sure to give this a show loves, likes. When it's posted on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And please reach out to Rudy, because he has a lot of fabulous, fabulous tools. Well, what we discussed was, obviously, we discussed a lot today, but really, as they say, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So,
Thanks.
yeah. Yeah, thank you, Rudy. So we go on the air every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Each week, I'll bring you a leading expert in the area of holistic health and wellness for people, animals, and spaces. And tune in next Tuesday when my guest will be Dr. Tricia Working. Dr. Working is really renowned for her work with cats, all animals, but especially cats. She's author of the book, The Fur Agreements, kind of playing a riff on The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. So if you're a cat lover, you'll definitely want to be on the call next week, and I'll be posting more information about that. So again, thank you all for spending the time this morning or on the replay. Thank you again, Rudy, and many blessings to you all. And we'll be in touch soon. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.